Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Patrick McCarthy, author of Please Don't Let Me Die, A Father's Journey Through Grief in the Criminal Justice System. Patrick, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell our viewers about what happened to your daughter.
On New Year's Eve into New Year's Day of 2006, 2007, we allowed her to go over to spend the night at a friend's house with the assumption that she would stay in for the night. The parent that she had spent the night with allowed her to go out with her daughter, and she was picked up by some young guys that we had no idea who they were. They went to a party an hour and a half away from our house. In that ride, she was given ecstasy. She was given it twice. And they went to a party an hour and a half away from us. They decided to go to Seattle. This happened in the state of Washington. She decided to go to Seattle to a party at Frat Row with some college guys. As soon as she stepped out of the car, she fell to her knees. Her knees buckled. She vomited. She was in a bad way. Those around her wanted to play doctor and didn't take her to the hospital. This lasted for a couple of hours. They took her back to the original house that they had gone to. This was about 3 o'clock in the morning. She was incoherent. She couldn't talk. She wanted help, and it wasn't given to her. She had a massive seizure around 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when they said she went to sleep. They got up the next morning. She was cold to the touch. Her lips were blue. And they panicked. And they took her to the hospital about 2.5, 3 hours later, but she was pronounced dead when she got there.
So sorry.
Thank you.
So you wrote this book for many reasons.
Yes.
Share with our viewers what you hope others can learn from this.
There's so much in there. Usually a father won't talk about grief. He's the strong man in the family, but we hurt just as much as all others. I wanted to show in this book the hurt and the pain that not only a father goes through, but a family. It's kind of the behind the scenes, behind the curtain look of what happens when a child dies. The two that were responsible for her death were ultimately arrested. We went through over 1.5 years of the criminal justice system.
Wow.
And it's a difficult system. It's confusing, and it takes a toll on your mind and your body. But we stuck with it. We got some justice. And with the book, I wanted to detail this and to help others in my daughter's name.
Absolutely. Well, Patrick, we appreciate you coming in. We're going to take a quick break. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. We'll have more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Patrick McCarthy, author of Please Don't Let Me Die, A Father's Journey Through Grief in the Criminal Justice System. Patrick, we're talking about what happened to your daughter several years ago in the state of Washington. You're now a Central Point resident.
Yes.
What happened, in writing this book? You wanted to get the word out to people that they aren't alone after tragedies like this, correct?
Right. When I first started this journey through my daughter's death in the criminal justice system, my mind became really cluttered. So what I needed to do every day was I wrote down my day's events. After the criminal proceedings were done and I was sitting alone, I started reading my notes and decided I needed to put this into a book form. I had a story to tell. I wanted to give others hope, those that also have lost a child. I wanted them to let them know that, hey, you're not alone. This happens all the time. I wanted to show them that there is a possibility that they also could get justice in their child's death if it was similar to my daughter's. Mm-hmm. And it's been hard to write.
Of course.
But what I wanted to do is to tell the story. I wanted people to understand that the dangers out there for our children today are much greater today than they were, say, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Now, in writing this book, everybody's grieving process is different.
Exactly.
Everybody handles things differently. Now, what advice would you give to people going through something as horrible that your family had to go through?
Is to stand up. Your child was someone. You loved them. Other people loved your child also. Stand up. Open the curtains. Let the light in. Talk about your child. Talk about them often. And get out there and help others. I know it's a difficult thing to do, but it'll help the healing process. It helps you through this.
Patrick, it was wonderful to meet you. I guess I should ask, where can people find your book?
It's currently online only, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Christian Book, Deeper Shopping, all the places that sell books online, you'll find Please Don't Let Me Die.
So sorry for what happened to your daughter. I wish
Thank you.
we had so much more time, but I do appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Great to meet you, Patrick. Thanks.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.